Aileen Wuornos really a cold-blooded killer, or was she a victim of a life filled with betrayal, abuse, and abandonment? We're going to start off with the story of one of America's most infamous female serial killers. Judith, welcome to Midweek Murders with Maggie. Talk is no good. When do I tell you about Aileen Wuornos? Her early life. It's February 29th, 1956, in Rochester, Michigan. Wee baby Aileen Carol Wuornos is born to Diane Wuornos and Leo Pittman. She's not an only child. She's a brother called Keith. Now, life doesn't start easy. By 1960, Eileen's father, Leo, is lifted for a serious crime. I mean a bad crime. And while he's locked up, he goes on off and offs himself. Her mother, Diane, dancing Diane, not able or just not wanting to put up with the two children, up and dumps both Aileen and Keith with their grandparents, Britta and Lauri. That's fine, right? At first it seems like the children has a chance of stability, half a normal life with the grandparents. But no, the grandparents are fond of a drink, you see. They love a wee sup, and apparently they would pluck lumps out of the two golders. Basically, the children's lives was marked by violence and neglect. We get to her childhood struggles. By the time 1966 rolls round, Aileen gets a wee name for herself round the roads. Starts getting fags, cigarettes, booze, and other stuff for sexual favours. Now she's about 10 years of age at this time. By that, 10 years of age. Word spreads around the place, the whole street knows about it now. And she is scandalized. She is scandalized. Starts getting bullied. The bullying is relentless. At home, in the school, the whole lot, right? By 1970, Eileen's about 14 years of age, right? And falls pregnant. We don't really know who the father of the daughter is. There's a bit of a list, right? Anyways, the grandparents are like, here, we're not being dumped with another one. All up for adoption, she was made too with a wee boy. 1971, the following year, tragedy strikes again. There's not an hour's luck at Den and Aileen. Not 1 hour's luck. Her grandmother, Britta, she croaks it. That's leaving Aileen, the grandfather, and the brother Keith in the Kenya. After a while, the grandfather just can't stick Aileen. He just genuinely can't put up with her no longer and gives her the boot. She's got nowhere to go. Where's she gonna go? So she goes on and sets up camp in the forest behind the grandparents' house. Right? Michigan, the weather, so the summers are meant to be lovely, but see the winters, they're supposed to be brutal. I'm talking minus numbers, nips are right off Britain, right? She survives the winters by sleeping in an old scrap car in the local people's car. Right? She does that for a while, she gets sick of living like that hard life, because anyone would, and she starts running the roads. Her early crimes. By 1974, Eileen's drifting about the place, bouncing around, right? Where she starts carrying on only more than ridiculously bad and gets herself arrested in Colorado for assault, carrying a weapon, and there's a few other charges there, right? She serves a bit of burglary. That's grand. See that there? This is the start of it now. This is only the beginning of her run-ins with the law. In 1976, she comes a lift from Colorado to Florida, where she runs into a sham called Lewis Fell. Now, Eileen's in her 20s. Lewis Fell is a 69-year-old yacht club president. Plenty of grit, no sure she knew what she was at. They go on and get married, right? Well, if it doesn't last pissing time, when the two of them pluck lumps out of each other, and she ups and gives it to him with his own walking stick. That shotgun marriage lands in divorce a few weeks later. No surprise there, you know. Not long after that, again, not now looking Aileen got out for, her brother Keith crooks it. He leaves her a few quid. About 10 grand. 10 grand is a lot. She goes on up and gets herself a wee motor and a wee car, right? Pays a few bills here and there and heads on to Daytona Beach. Now, in Daytona Beach, she survives by doing odd jobs here and there and never gives up her prostituting ways, right? Meeting Tyree Moore. In 1986, Eileen's life takes a turn when she meets Tyree Moore in Daytona Beach in a gay bar. Tyree Moore, she is originally from Philadelphia. She moved to Florida because back in the day, it was just easier for gays to live in Florida than it was for them to live in Philadelphia, right? So she was a housekeeper in different hotels around Florida. Two girls go on, make her Sean together, and soon become inseparable. You know, they move into the Fairview Motel. Kyria keeps up her housekeeping jobs here and there, and Eileen's still flat to the mat in the game to support both of them. See, this relationship with Eileen and Tyria, this relationship is going, it'll be central to Eileen's story and the crimes that's followed. The first murder. December 1989, Richard Mallory. Richard Mallory is a 51-year-old electronics shop owner that's up and down IE75 looking a good time when he spots Eileen. So he goes on and picks Eileen up. Now, here's the thing. Eileen's been prostituting since she was no height. And she's never killed anyone, as far as we know. Like, no one has showed up until Richard's body showed up a few miles away from his Cadillac, shot in the chest, all this stuff knocked. She stole all this stuff. You know, she did admit to killing him. You know, but why? What started it? That was the first one. No, that marks the beginning of a killing spree that would shock Florida, the nation, and lads. We're still talking about it now. Like, you know, it's crazy. Folks, if you're enjoying the story so far, do us a favour. Like, share, and subscribe. And in the next episode, we'll dive deeper into the murders that followed, the investigation that closed in on top of Eileen, and the trial that made her a household name, and the trial that really just shook her herself. Like, she was really betrayed. In the honor of God, will you try and mind yourself until next Wednesday at 8 o'clock?